Hello everyone and welcome back to Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. So today we're going to be reviewing the 6-year Wilderness Trail Bottled in Bond Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This was made using their sweet mash process and is made up of 64% corn, 24% rye, and 12% malted barley. Before we get into the review, I want to give a big thank you and shout out to Barry and team over at the Perfect Pour in Elkridge, Maryland. So whether you guys are local or out of state, if you come into Maryland, make sure you go and check out the Perfect Pour. They have fantastic customer service and a huge selection of bourbons, rye, scotches, rums, wine, and craft beer. So if you're in the area, make sure that you guys go in there and check them out. So without further ado, let's get into this review. Alright guys, so I've had this poured for about 10 minutes now. Let a little bit of air get into it to try to open up some of them flavors. So let's go ahead and get into the nose. So first thing I get is like a really nice honey, like a rich honey note. Definitely get some of the rye, you know, with it being 24% rye, there's definitely some rye present on those spices on the nose. A nice sweet vanilla that's a little bit further away from the glass. The honey and that vanilla are really nice. I think it's like a dark, rich honey and then like a really sweet vanilla. Very, very sweet nose. Again, some of those rye spices. And a little bit further down into the glass, you pick up like a little bit of a bread dough note. Yeah, pretty nice nose. Again, very sweet. Some of the spices from that rye, again, being 24%. That's expected. All right, guys, get into the palate. Cheers. So first thing I get is a nice little blast of cinnamon. The rye spices on here are definitely present. Again, 24%. Right on the front to the mid palate is I get like a really good burst of rye spices, some cinnamon in there. To me, I actually think it drinks a little bit hotter than 100 proof. I think that's because of those rye spices, though. Again, it's not the 100 proof that's hitting you with that heat. Really nice. Again, that like sweet vanilla note that I picked up on the nose. Really getting that towards the back of the palate. Those rye spices, some cinnamon. That vanilla follows through from the middle of the palate down to the finish. Let's get into another sip. Cheers. So really interesting note. I get this like cornbread note. Now that rye spice has kind of gone away, the front and the middle of the palate, I'm picking up this cornbread note. It's fantastic. You know, surprisingly, I don't really taste a lot of youth in this. You know, some of the prior expressions that they had, the 4-year, you still get some of that graininess, that some of those youthful notes. And not in a bad way, but I'm not getting any of those on this 6-year bourbon here. It's very flavorful. It's actually pretty viscous too. It coats the mouth very well. Medium to long finish. Again, rye spices when you first took that sip, those have gone away. A nice cornbread note on the front to the middle of the palate. That sweetness, the vanilla that follows through. Let's go ahead and get to another sip, guys. Yeah, so a note that I picked up on that very last sip before this one, there's like some sweet oak that I got towards the finish, which lets you know that there is a little bit of age in here. And I tell you, that's that cornbread and that oakiness and that vanilla Very, very sweet palate, but it's fantastic being, being 6 years. Let's get into the last sip, guys. Cheers. Actually pick up like right to the middle, to the back of the palate. It's like a caramel, almost like a caramel apple note. Again, it's not a very bold flavor, but I do pick up a little bit of like apple and caramel there on the middle of the palate. So it's like the cornbread on the front and the middle, that caramel apple and vanilla on the middle of the palate, and that vanilla follows through. Really, really solid offering from Wilderness Trail, being 6 years. Again, it's bottled in bond. It's 100 proof. Got rye spices. When you first hit it, a little spicy. To me, it drank a little bit hotter than 100 proof, but that's because of the spices. Overall, fantastic 6-year offering from Wilderness Trail. So I want to thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. And again, I want to give a big thank you to Barry and team over at The Perfect Pour, who supplied me with this bottle to review on the channel. Again, if you guys are local or out of state and just visiting, make sure you make your way out to Elk Ridge, Maryland, and give them a visit, guys. I can promise you, you will not be disappointed with the selection and the customer service that they offer. So if you're looking for reviews of bourbons, ryes, or some of those Dusties, hit that subscribe button and bell notification to be alerted of any upcoming reviews or live streams. You can also find me on Instagram at Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. And until next time, guys, stay dusty.